back on the road for another Thursday night. How you feel about
You know, I'm in between. You know, I'm still bothered by Saturday because I really think that was a ball game we could have won and should have won. And we played an exceptional good ball club in Southern, you know. And let me say this, you know, my hat goes off to Coach Oldham because for that ball club to be able to keep focus after being faced with what they're faced with, a teammate that's fighting for normalcy back in his life and recovery, my hat goes off to him. And whatever ASU can do or Brian Jenkins can do to help out, I think I've exemplified and spoke that we're more than willing and up for it. You know, I'm trying to think of something special to do to help raise some funds, but hopefully that'll come after the season. But nevertheless, I'm encouraged, you know, because our team fought all the way to the end and fought a very tough ball club in Southern to the end. And, you know, we're going to have to fight again on Thursday night. And, you know, I really would like the nation to see the fight that our team has, and that's what this opportunity is going to present for us.
Coach, the way that your team was able to fight in that second half, I know it was a loss, but do you feel that you were able to carry the momentum into Thursday's game from that?
I hope so. I tell you what, the team's attitude has been wonderful. You know, the guys came right back ready to work because I think they're upset that they didn't complete the task on Saturday. And I think they're really looking forward to Thursday night as well, not because it's a TV game, just because it's another opportunity for them to go out and give a collective effort to come home with a victory. So there's some excitement there also because of, you know, the second half, you know, push and fight like they did. But I've always said this is a resilient group, and I thought if we could put, you know, a complete game together or put, you know, a half together where we don't have any team-inflicted wounds, people will be surprised at what we'll be able to do. I think we surprised some people the second half of last week's game.
Coach, just piggybacking off that, the penalties, you guys are near the bottom of the NCAA and that, what's going on?
I'll tell you what, very disturbing because you go in at halftime and we had, what, 4 or 5. And then by the end of the game, we got, what, 11? And then, you know, to see Southern with 12 or 13, you know, I would hope we're a better coach ball club than that. And I certainly would hope we got better coach ball clubs throughout the conference. So I'm sure it's something that'll be addressed, you know, but I got total confidence in all the calls. There's a couple calls that I argued that I was totally wrong on. And there's a couple calls that are questionable. So I think it's 50-50, you know. People are made to err, and some errors were made, but a lot of the times the calls are right. So I got to do a better job coaching and teaching my guys how not to get those penalties.
As far as Arkansas Pine Bluff, they're a team coming off of a bye, but your team is going to play its 4th game in 18 days. Do you feel that there's an advantage because y'all are keeping the thing going while they're coming off the bye?
Well, I think it's a double-edged sword. You know, their team is coming off the bye, and they're a little bit more well-rested and probably got some healing up, you know, done, and maybe got 1 or 2 or a couple guys back that had some nicks. As far as us, it gives you an opportunity to keep your time. You know, I like the short turnaround. You know, it causes you to have to really grind out and thoroughly think out how you're going to prepare your team's body and mind and your game plan as well. And I got an exceptional group of coaches. I think we've exemplified that we can have our team ready to play in a short turnaround. So, you know, I'm very impressed with this football team and how they've handled the number of games in a short period of time. You know, but I think we'll be ready and we'll be prepared. And physically, you know, our guys haven't shown any wear and tear, and mentally they're continuing to stay strong, and I think they're showing that. So, you know, I just look forward to the opportunity of playing on a Thursday night for the nation to take another look at Alabama State University.
Pine Bluff is 1-4 on the season, but a bunch of their losses were actually close. So what's your overall assessment of the Lions?
Well, I don't think their record matches up to the type of ball club they are. First, you got to start with Monty Coleman, their head coach, you know, and, you know, anytime you say his name, you know, the end definition of it is true man, you know, or a real man, you know, and I know he's had some success in the profession, you know, playing and coaching. And I know he's passed on a lot of those characteristics and that experience to his players. And when you look, they got some weapons, so they're definitely a team to pay attention to. So I would not look at their record and look past them. We're going to put as much attention into them that we do everybody else. And, you know, hopefully we can keep them from being that turnaround, from hitting that turnaround point, you know. But I know Monty Coleman And he's going to have them prepared, so I know what we're going to be up against, and we're going to be prepared. So I think it just sets a script for a very good ball game coming Thursday night.
You've also coached in your SWAC teams.
Right.
When you were with them, but now you're in the conference.
I'm in the conference. I'm in the SWAC.
About the play of the league.
The play of the league is still a big play league. You know, you don't have as many points scored in the different games that you have in the SWAC, you know, that you have in the MEAC, you know. But I think both conferences are good conferences. Different personalities. I think the MEAC is a little bit more smash now, a little bit more physical. I think the SWAC is much more big play, a lot more offense. And I think that's different. I think both conferences have very good coaches. Very good coaches. I've been very impressed with what I've seen throughout the conference and how well coached a lot of these teams are, but I'm not surprised. So I think both conferences are, like I say, very well coached. The teams are very well prepared. Just a little bit of different personality. You know, I would like to see both conferences play a little bit more, you know, during the year. I think the matchups would be great to get a Southern and a Cookman, or Alabama State and a Cookman, or South Carolina State and a Grambling, you know. I think those will be games that people really want to see. And hopefully in the near future, our conference and the MEAC can get together and maybe create more than just one bowl game, more than just a celebration bowl. Maybe go ahead and go all the way and get a couple bowl games to where you can have those matchups at the end of the year that I think will be great draws, and they'll be great for all the programs involved.
From what you've seen this season, Coach, you feel your team is more comfortable on the road?
Nah, we look at every game the same, prepare for every game the same. We don't even talk about being on the road or being at home. I mean, it's a football game. You know, if you take the name off of the state and off the stadium and everything, it's football. You know, so, you know, we've had some more success on the road than we've had at home. You know, but I think playing at home does has an additive of pressure a little bit. You know, I think players may feel that because you want to win in front of the home crowd. But we prepare for every game the same. And we look at every game the same, and that's with respect. We respect every opponent the same, and you know, I don't think it's a comfortableness on the road or not. I just think we just didn't get the task done when we should have got it done.
Said after the game Saturday that quarterback competition is going to open back up again. Is it a game time decision, or could we see two? Or?
Well, you know, I always get that question, but anybody who's been around me for the last 5 or 6 years know I've always played 3 or 4 quarterbacks. I never know which one is going to start until game day. I let those guys battle it out. I mean, it's going to come a time when you see all 3, you know, so I think that gives us the advantage. So the quarterback position is always open, you know, and I always tell my guys it's a good thing to start practice as the guy. It's a better thing to end practice as the guy. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but I think I got some good quarterbacks that have been productive in our program. And at any time, any one of them can take the field and I think lead our offense. So we're going to see, you know, come Thursday, you know, who knows the lineup at quarterback. You know, who knows what I'm thinking. You know, sometimes I wonder what I'm thinking.
Did it make you happy to see Duhart come in, you know, kind of like a relief pitcher coming in there and you know, being pretty lights out?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Definitely. It was impressive. I mean, you got a young man that's been out, hasn't had the success since the beginning of the season, had a little bit of an injury that's thrown him off, came back, his timing wasn't right, and you watched another young man who elevated himself into being a starter because of his performance. And so you're kind of stuck. Do I support this guy? Do I hope this guy don't do well so I can get back in the driver's seat? Well, knowing, you know, Daniel like I do, he was right there supporting Ellis, you know, and then when we went to Ellis, when we went to Daniel, Ellis was right there supporting Daniel, and QT was right there coaching both of them, helping them out. So it just goes to show that you got a group of guys that's for each other. And if one is playing, then they feel like all is playing. So, but it was good and impressive to see Daniel, you know, have his mind ready to go. And that's why that's why my philosophy is what it is. You know, I don't have one starter. I always tell my guys I got 3 starters. And it's just which guy we're going to go with on game day. But I tell all 3 of them to be ready because we can go with all 3. And all 3, my expectation is to be productive in the offense.
When you're making that quarterback decision, do you ever evaluate their strengths compared to the other team?
No. I just put their name in the hat. I just pull out the name. Whoever becomes the guy, that's who it is. No. We go with which guy has operated the offense better. you know, during the week, which guy has the game plan down and has been the most productive. We really do. And we put them through a series of tests, you know, and the guy that comes out on top, that's the guy that we go with collectively as a staff, as the guy that's going to be the trigger puller for the game, you know.
Does already having a road Thursday night win mean a lot to this ball club?
I'm going to say yes and no. We just don't put as much as other people put into playing on Thursday or playing on TV. Or all those things is football. I mean, if we're called to play at midnight in Alaska, we're going to go, we're going to play, and we're not going to care what time or where the place is. So I just don't believe in putting a lot, you know, on that because that's non-meaningful. You know, you got to play the game. We signed the dotted line. We signed the contract to play the game. You got to play the game, regardless of TV, regardless of day. It doesn't matter, you know. And I'm not saying that in a cocky manner or a disrespectful manner. That's just our mindset and our philosophy. No matter when we got to play, we got to play. No matter where we got to play, we got to play. So the number one thing is don't concentrate on those things. Just concentrate on being prepared to play when it's time to play. And that's our belief in our philosophy.